Hello everyone, my name is Laszlo Horvat from Raleigh, North Carolina, Zone 7B. I am talking to you because I have been encouraged by some folks to share with you the project I'm involved with. Right now I will be reading to you what I wish to convey, as I do not want to miss anything of importance. Later I will be talking freely without reading, explaining everything you need to know. I have built a cinder block raised garden 16 feet long, and I am presently building a hoop house to cover it. I am here to share with you what I have learned and show you how you can duplicate what I am doing if that is what you are motivated to do or are dreaming about doing, but we're afraid to start. I will be uploading on YouTube several videos covering everything you need to do, step by step with pictures to simplify it. This idea came to me after being teed off about the money I was spending on fruits and vegetables at the grocery store, such as $4 for a yellow pepper, $2 for a green pepper, $1.50 for an apple, $2 for a cucumber, etc., etc. You get the picture. I thought to myself, how much are they going to cost me 2-3 years from now? Talk about motivation. With that in mind, since I have never done any gardening in my life, I started my research on the internet and came across a book called Square Foot Gardening, which is right here. I went out and bought this book. It's by Mel Bartholomew, and such books as Vegetable Gardening for Dummies and Organic Gardening for Dummies, which is right here. I put a game plan together and created my project, which I also ran by the Master Gardener at North Carolina State University, to get a second opinion as to whether or not I was doing anything wrong or out of the ordinary. I was told I had the right idea and had planned it out correctly. Well, that was enough to get me started. Mind you, I was petrified of getting started without someone giving me a nudge, and scared of screwing it all up. I almost forgot the project also includes the ordering and planting of 8 fruit trees and 6 berry bushes. Next, I priced out approximately what the project was going to cost me and how much time before I would recoup my investments on my future food supply. My due diligence included researching the prices on the internet at local stores like Lowe's and nurseries. I also looked at pros and cons, the benefits and drawbacks, and asked a lot of questions and read a lot of postings on gardening forums and gardening Yahoo groups, along with library books on gardening. It was not until about 3 months went by I got started. I started purchasing materials I was going to need to get started. However, before you get started, you must figure out the best location for your garden. It must be in an area where you will get a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of sun. Secondly, you must figure out where your north corner of the garden is going to be, because that is a spot where the climbing vegetables will have to be situated so they don't shade the others. Remember, the sun comes up in the east and sets in the west. So if you plant on the east side, it will block the plants behind it. Now let me start about what I did and show you pictures as I go along so you can visualize what I am talking about. So you will not be looking at me, you'll be looking at the pictures, and you'll be hearing my voice in the background. You can go to the Square Foot Garden Yahoo group, where you will find all the pictures and documents of what I am talking about. Okay, let's proceed now. I will show you and talk about what I've done. Okay, here we go. Just to give you an idea, when I started, the yard I was working with, the backyard at my dad's house, it was full of cedar trees, as you can see from this picture, and it was shading a lot of the backyard, and I didn't know what to do with it. And so I had to remove most of it and just cut it all down. I literally took everything off, I cut it all down, but it looks like this. This is how it looks now. It's just totally gone. It's just totally wiped out. I cleaned it up. So, but this is the spot I was going to use right here, where the sunny area that you see right there. That's the spot I picked. And I started to cut everything down, as you can see. I chopped everything out. I went berserko. And after it was all said and done, I cleaned it all up. I held it off and got rid of it. And then I had to take the spot I was going to plant on and had to kill the grass. And this is the spot where I will put up the garden that I'm talking about. So I used black plastic, as you can see. I bought rolls of it, and I think it was like 4-foot rolls, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I laid them down, and I let it sit there for a month. This was still when the weather was warm. I mean, warm. It was like in the 80s. And I let it sit there for a month, and so it would kill everything underneath it. And that way I was certain that if I do anything like with the garden, even though I'm going to use some materials you'll be looking at to prevent weeds from coming through, I want to absolutely make certain that I had nothing coming up anywhere in the garden or around it inside the hoop house that I'm going to show you what I'm building. Next, I said, well, I started accumulating, like I said, all the things that I needed. And the book, Square Foot Gardening, shows you the 5 different kind of compost that he talks about mixing that with a third of that with peat, a third of peat, then a third of vermiculite. So a third, and a third. And I couldn't find, in the book it says Dakota peat, and I couldn't find it anywhere on the East Coast. So I ended up calling the company in North Dakota, and I said, well, what's the story here? I've got a project going on. I can't get a hold of this stuff, so I need some. So he says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, you sound like you got a big project going on, and I got some peat out there in North Carolina in Goldsboro. A company purchased that they did not use, and it cost too much to ship back. And it was credited, and I'm just sitting there collecting dust. So I said, you can go ahead and go pick it up. It's all free for you. And it's 1,800 pounds. Just go pick it up, and it's all yours. And all I want from you in return is to give me a project update as to how it's going and what the results is using Dakota peat. And this was Dakota peat. I went to pick it up with a Home Depot truck because it was 1,800 pounds. It wouldn't fit in my truck, my pickup truck, and so I only hold 1,200. And so that's the stuff that I got. And anyway, so after that, I started looking into getting all the compost. And I'll go into that in a minute, but we're running out of time here. I'm almost a 10-minute marker, so I have to shut this off. So what I'll do is right now just hold off and start on a new video continuing this with the actual laying down the foundation of the raised garden. Thank you.